Great to have you here, Carl, on Good Friday. How are you? You keeping well?
I'm very well. Good weather today, thank God.
What do you think of the current state of UK politics, to sum up for anyone that doesn't quite understand it?
Well, I mean, it's totally dire. The problem that we have in UK politics is it's completely calcified within the Blairite paradigm, and anytime the Conservatives try to do something that's outside of that paradigm, it sounds ridiculous to the mainstream and it becomes widely criticised by the media, and the Conservatives, having no spines whatsoever, tend to back down on it. I mean, even this Rwandan plan to send illegal migrants to Rwanda to be processed, it sounds, oh, okay, well, that's interesting and different. But the thing is, this actually is not their own idea. This is actually quite an old idea that they've essentially just taken from the previous governments and have decided to package as their own.
The Great Reset. Now, do you think that this is a serious threat, or is it just a conspiracy theory? I'd love to hear your analysis on that Great Reset.
To call this a conspiracy theory just seems to be ridiculous. It can't be a conspiracy if it's all out in the open. What this is an advocacy organisation for a particular desirable future. At least they believe it's a desirable future. And so this leads us into a position where this isn't a conspiracy. This is just activism. This is just what they're trying to achieve. Now, I personally am not someone who believes that there should be a world government, or I'm not an internationalist. I don't have designs on other countries, and I don't think I should tell them how to run their affairs. So I personally do see this as quite the threat to our country. But the thing is, how can we stop it?
The last thing that really captured sort of my sort of imagination and going, God, you know what, this is something new and innovative, was, believe it or not, just the Joker film. And when that came out, I mean, everyone has different tastes, of course, but when that came out, the media went into this frenzy of, you know, incels are going to be shooting up cinemas and everyone's going to be, you know, going around and killing people because of this.
I agree with you on Joker. That was the last film I actually was interested in watching. But look at what it is, though, as a piece of art, because it's not actually very original. You know, it's basically a superhero version of Taxi Driver. So it's not even that it was an original story. But what it was is you've got these stories which the people who are making them believe are in some way representations of reality. You know, women are strong and independent, and therefore you get the 22-year-old female superhero who's destroying a room full of rugged older guys. Yeah, exactly. And I mean, no man is looking at like these things and being like, oh, I could do that, because you couldn't do that, and you know you couldn't do that, and so to persuade young women that they could do that is kind of ridiculous.
An old debate of you and Destiny and Hassan has come up.
There's no gay agenda in Disney.
No, absolutely not. But looks like you were correct.
I was.
The thing is more than the sum of its components, but the components within it are individual actors with their own agendas, and they come to these things with a particular perspective, and in many cases to push a specific agenda. And this agenda is costing them money. They have their hits, but they have many losses as well. And it's something that I don't think is sustainable. I mean, haven't they stopped making Star Wars films at this point?
Just to summarize your argument, what you're saying is that Disney as an organization or a corporation is not necessarily doing things politically, but there are people who are making decisions at Disney that do have political leanings that are doing that correct. In order.
So you think like 75-year-old executives at Disney are like thinking, we really
want gay rights.
We really need to make the world more SJW. I'm a millionaire or a billionaire, an executive at Disney.
I didn't say that. I realize that you, as a Marxist, have a problem with like 75-year-old millionaires, but I'm literally not saying that.
Americans think, when polled, Pew did a poll on this, and when polled, Americans think the country is 41% black, something like 20% trans, and 30% gay. And it's like, that's just totally wrong. It's 12% black, like 2% gay, and less than 1% trans. And yet, why do they have these wild misrepresentations in their head? Well, it's because of the media that they watch. And that's why the Disney executive who was like, oh, we're going to have 50% gay representation. It's like, well, that's not representation then, is it? You know, because if you were going to represent it, it'd be 1 to 2%. If you're going to have black people represented, it'd be basically 1 in 10 people on TV would be black. Instead, it's closer to 1 in 2. And so why are you doing this? What is the end goal of this?
Listen, Carl Benjamin, thank you so much for taking your time out for me today. And where can we find you and all your work nowadays?
Lotuseaters.com is the best place, or search on YouTube or Apple or wherever else you want to listen to a podcast. Just the podcast of the Lotus Eaters, and you can find us there.
Brilliant. Carl Benjamin, thank you very much.
Thank you.
If you'd like to watch the full interview of myself and Carl Benjamin, head on over to the description or the top comment of this video and you can watch it in full there. Thank you.